cats and cows once you get there. Move around however you want to move around. Notice how you feel in that region we've been focusing on. Good. And then next time you pass through the center, let's pause in neutral. Okay. So neutral spine. We've been working, I think we worked last week a little bit on the protract, retract, right, of the shoulder blades. Did we do that? We're going to try to squeeze the shoulder blades toward one another. You can let your neck relax, and then that's retract, and then spread them apart without rounding the spine. So it's just the shoulder blades that are changing. Your arms stay straight. And if you have trouble getting it, doing it with your hands on the wall or just sitting up and trying to do it like this can teach your spine not to move. Because a lot of people, what they do is when they protract, they also round. But we're just trying to keep neutral here. So again, getting the rhomboids strong that draw the shoulder blades together, and then it's the serratus anterior serratus that helps the shoulder blades slide along the rib cage toward the front body. So not up toward the ears, right? Not elevated. You can also try this if you feel like you've got it and you want a little more challenge. You can try to lift the knees off the floor and do the same thing. So hovering. Okay, keep breathing as you're doing it. Good. And now let's put the knees back down if they've been up, and just stay in tabletop with the protracted shoulder blades. Okay, so just really strong. Feel the strength there, wrapping those shoulder blades around toward the front, but they're not up towards your ears, right? They're just wide. They're just wide. There's space between them. It's like you're pushing the floor away, right? You're just pushing that floor away. Good. And breathe. Now, could you keep this and perhaps step one leg back straight, like you're going into plank pose, and then maybe the other leg can go back too, and you're in a high plank while your shoulder blades are protracted. And if it's too much, put the knees down, right? If it's too much, you just put the knees back down. That's it. Tuck your tail under too. Yeah, so your core, that's it. So your core gets involved more. Good. Feel like you're moving your armpits towards your waist. That'll help your core get involved too. Okay, one more breath. And then let's put the knees down and stretch the arms forward into puppy dog pose. So we'll keep the hips over the knees. They're not going to the heels like child's pose. Just stretching forward, letting the head come down between the arms, however much it will. And you might notice difference in the two sides, right, of your shoulders. Of course, if it hurts your shoulders, you can bend to the elbows. And now, can you try to feel that breath in the whole rib cage area as much as you can? On the sides of your heart, like the lungs expanding outward. Behind your heart, breathing there, expanding there. And in the front. Good. And now let's slowly come up from our puppy dog pose. And we're going to come down onto our forearms in Sphinx pose. Letting the hips come down to the floor, pressing your pubic bone down. Inhale as you spread across your collarbones. Right? Let your jaw be relaxed, your neck relaxed. Elbows are a little ahead of the shoulders, not back behind. Okay. Good. Engage your glute muscles. And then as you exhale, let's reach the left arm forward a little bit and twist around. You can let your hips move and your knees bend. Twist around and look behind you to the right. And then inhale back to the center and other side as you exhale. Good. And then inhale back to the center. And then exhale, can you start to engage your abdominal muscles and tuck the tail under to push into the elbows, and then draw the knees back under your hips. And we're going to be on the forearms with protracted shoulder blades. So same thing we were working on, not up by your ears though, right? So you're not doing this, you're not shrugging them. They're away from your ears. Think of them as getting wide, wrapping around toward your armpits. Good. Let your neck and jaw relax. And then maybe you could take one leg back toward a plank and the other. Now, if it's too much again, you just drop to knees, tucking the tail. Feel like you're working your armpits towards your waist and breathing. Good. And then coming down to knees, and you can either go to downward facing dog or to puppy dog pose. Letting your neck relax in whatever you've chosen, following your breath in and following your breath out, moving around however you want to. And again, let's notice your breath. So using your breath to open up sticky spaces around the whole area of your rib cage, upper back, sides, front. Good. Another breath there. And now let's slowly walk your hands and feet towards one another. You can pause there in a forward fold, shifting around or bending knees, doing whatever feels good to you here. Maybe take a sigh or two. Good. And then hands above knees. Let's inhale and extend your spine forward. And exhale, let's bend the knees. Good. And inhale, let's stand up. And exhale, arms out and down. Good. And just stand for a moment. Notice how you feel. Okay. And we're going to take our straps. Oh, never mind. We're not going to take our straps yet. Let's inhale, reach your arms up. And exhale, arms out to the side and down, almost like they're coming back behind you. We're going to take them to the hips if you can. And inhale to roll the shoulder heads back. That's it. And lift the chest if you can. And then exhale, release. And we'll do that 2 more times. Okay, so we're going to inhale, reaching up. Exhale, arms out and down. Inhale, hands to hips, opening shoulders and chest. Exhale, release. Good, one more time. Inhale. Exhale. Hands to hips, inhaling, opening. Exhale, release. Good. Okay, we're going to take one of our balls here, and we're going to be using the wall for this. So you can use these mirrors, you can use the little wood sections. You're going to be placing the ball, and you can also do this just with your hand too, but the wall gives more pressure. You're going to be putting the ball on your sternum and going all the way out by pushing it into the wall underneath the collarbone out to here. Okay, so to do that against the wall, you kind of maneuver your body, right? I'm going to go low so I can show it on this too, but you can bend as much as you want. And I literally press it into the wall and go back and forth. Okay, you don't have to be bending like I'm showing. You could be way more upright. Okay. Yeah. So you're tracing underneath your collarbone. Just look in the direction generally away from the ball, right? Away from the side with the ball. And you can play around. You can go trace it all the way out and back. Let that shoulder, if you can, kind of, yeah, roll back a bit. You feel any tight spots in there? Yeah, you can also zigzag like up and down a little bit. And I like to get to the pec minor area, which is way out kind of by the where the chest meets the shoulder, right below the collarbone. In there, I'm really tight. And you can get in there and take that arm that the side you're working on and extend the arm back behind you. So kind of abduct it out to the side and then extend it back behind you if you want to. You can also move the neck around. Good. Good, you guys. And then we can take that ball away and just stand for a moment and compare the two arms. Follow your breath in and out. And then you'll just switch to the other side. Okay, so you just get it on the other side that you haven't done yet. And same thing, first you're just exploring all the way from sternum out to the edge. And you'll probably find that one side is a little tighter than the other side, or a lot tighter. So it gets tight here because we tend to do things with our arms in front of us, right? So that the muscles get shortened in there. Let's keep breathing. You can always explore with the neck or arm. And this can always be done with just the ball in the hand too. Just kind of moving the ball around. You can also twist the ball into the skin, kind of twist it up and then move the arm. Breathing, just a few more breaths here. Good. And then as you're ready, let's come away from the wall and just stand for a moment. I can bag up your balls and set them aside. We're not going to use those guys again. Of course, you always can do it if you want to. And then we'll come, when you're ready, to the front of your mat and just lay down your blanket for a little knee padding. And we'll step in front of it. You might want to have your blocks up there too, so you can always have them at the ready. Okay. Good. And then just stand and notice your arms for a moment. Notice your chest, notice your upper back. Follow your breath in and out, feeling your feet on the floor. And we're going to do that same chest opener we did before we used the ball. So we'll inhale, arms up. Exhale, arms out to the sides and down. Hands come to hips as you inhale. Try to roll the shoulder heads back and lift and open the chest. Just notice if it feels any different. It may or may not. And exhale, as you release, we're going to forward fold. So you can bend the knees at any point, coming down towards your blocks or legs, and inhale to extend your spine forward, getting long. And exhale, we're going to step the left knee back and drop it down to the blanket. We'll inhale to rise up to a half kneel. And exhale to tuck the tail and place your right hand inside your knee, the back of the hand pressing against it. So the same knee as hand, and create a little counter pressure as you inhale, reaching the outer arm up, and exhale a little lean toward the right. Yes, good. And keep the tuck of the tail. Just notice the stretch along the hip here. Keep breathing. See if you can breathe into the side ribs on that left side. Good, and then let's inhale back up. And we'll exhale, come down. You can remove your blocks, placing your hands down, and inhale to step into any variation of plank pose. It can be knees down or up or forearms. Good, and as you're here, can you get that protraction of the shoulder blades? Good, tucking your tail, but not rounding your spine. Okay, and then slowly lowering down. You can drop the knees or come down. And then we're going to do another movement we've done before. All right, we're going to take that right arm, I think we did it last week, out about till 2 o'clock, but you can adjust it. And your left hand is on the floor like a push-up hand. And you look to the left, bend the left knee, and then roll the right shoulder head away from the floor, shoulder blade down the back as you start to take the leg over and across the body. And breathe here. You can make any adjustments you need to make with your arm. So the arm is out at about 2 o'clock. Some of you have it more at 12 o'clock, but if you take it out to the side, you'll get a stretch in the pec. Yes, as long as you can, as long as it's okay. Yeah, good. Taking a few breaths there. And then exhale, coming back to the center. We're just going to switch sides. Okay, so now your left arm comes out maybe 10 or 11 o'clock, and your right hand is pushing down. You're gonna roll the shoulder blade down your back. So you're gonna move it away from the floor, or the shoulder head away from the floor. Bend right knee, look to the right as you start to take the leg to the other side. Keep breathing. So getting into that same area. Good, and now a couple more breaths here. And then slowly coming back to the center. You're gonna take both hands like you're going to do a push-up. Inhale, roll the shoulder blades down your back, and exhale, engage your abdominals, pushing up to knees or high plank. And then back to either child's pose or downward dog. Letting your neck and jaw relax. Trying to let your face relax. Good. If you can imagine the breath creating space three-dimensionally throughout your whole rib cage. Good. And if you're in down dog, we'll bend the knees and step the left leg forward to a high kneel, or you can come down to knees first and then rise up, your right knee's on the padding. Good, tucking the tail. Inhale as you take your left back of hand inside knee, reach right arm way up, and then exhale, you can lean to the left if you'd like. And now focus on breathing into those right ribs here. Letting the neck and jaw be at ease, a little counter pressure into knee. You can add more padding too, even that bolster might help. Oh, the hamstring spasm, yeah, okay. And then when you're ready, let's inhale, rise up. Good, exhale, you can bring your hands back to your blocks or to the floor. We're gonna inhale to lift the back knee off the floor, and exhale to step that foot forward. Hands above knees, inhale, extend spine forward. Exhale, bend the knees like you're sitting in a chair. And inhale to stand. And exhale, we're gonna take the arms out to the sides and down, back to the hips again. Good. Take a breath and then take an inhale as you roll the shoulders back. And now exhale, release that and fold back down to your legs. Good. And then inhale to extend your spine forward. And exhale, we're going to step the right knee back onto our padding again. Good. This time, we're going to place the right hand on the floor and let your hips come forward. So for most of you, that's going to mean stepping that left foot forward a little bit so you can let that right hip come down and forward. That's it, into a lunge. Your hands could be on the blocks too. Left hand on your left thigh. Let's exhale, just doing a small twist to the left. That's it. Rolling your right shoulder down and think about turning your chest around. Good. Don't worry about your neck. You can look wherever it feels best. And exhale, untwist yourself. Inhale to step that leg back. This time we're just going to downward dog or to puppy dog pose as you exhale. Again, 2 breaths here, focusing on creating space in your rib cage on that inhale. Good. And 1 more breath. Good. And then we'll make our way to a right leg forward lunge. So you can bend the knees and exhale to step, or you can come down to your knees first. You're going to get into a lunge by either walking the knee back or your front foot forward, allowing the hip to come forward if it will. Left hand a bit out to the side, right hand to right thigh, exhale to twist. And think about twisting the chest around. Good. Let's do 2 more breaths here. Really focusing on breathing, creating space in the rib cage. And 1 more breath. And now slowly untwisting yourself. You might want to find your blocks below your hands. We'll inhale to lift the back knee off the floor and exhale to step it forward. Hands above knees. Let's inhale, extend spine forward, getting long. Exhale, bending the knees. Good. Inhale to rise. And exhale, arms out and down. This time just bringing them down at your sides. Good. All right, let's move your blanket out of the way. And we'll get our straps for real this time. Okay, so you can use your yoga strap. We're gonna come into warrior 1 with the right leg forward, left leg back, legs separated like they're on 2 tracks, like hips distance apart. Okay, good. We're just gonna take the strap between our arms behind you. Okay. Good. And the width that you hold the strap is up to you. Okay. You want it to feel like a stretch. So you don't want slack in the strap, and you're pulling the strap apart as you roll the shoulder heads back. Good. Get your feet solid. Nice. And you probably want to look, just keeping the neck neutral, but you can decide. It might feel good for some of you if you really engage the glute, might feel good to look up depending on how much space you've got around your neck. Okay, keep breathing, stretching and opening the front of the chest, breathing into the rib cage. Good. Now let's let go of the strap, just put it down. And taking the hands behind your head, thumbs running down the neck if you can, and inhale to support the neck as you lift the chest up. Good. Opening up your ribs with your breath. And now on our exhale, we're slowly going to open to warrior 2. So we'll be turning left. Everybody will face different directions in the room here. You're going to take your arms out to the side, kicking that left heel back, right? And you're facing, your belly button faces away from your knee. You might want to step your foot way up here. That'll work better for your hip. Yeah. And just look, take a moment to look at your front knee. And if you feel like it's caving in toward the big toe side of the foot, you can step that foot so it's going closer to this long edge of the mat in front of you. So your hip doesn't have to open as much. Okay, good. Take an inhale here. And as you exhale, let's take eagle arms or a hug. So what we're going to just take right arm to wrap on top of left. And you're either hugging here or you're hooking for eagle arms. Yeah. And now breathing into your upper back area and feeling yourself really solid through your feet. So every breath in, feel like you're creating space behind your heart. And every breath out, can you relax around your neck so you're not all caught up in there? Good. Good. And now on your next inhale, let's open up the arms wide. Good. And exhale, just turning toward the front of your mat and seeing if you can step up. Good. Just shake it out a little bit. Notice how you feel. Inhale here and exhale. Let's grab our strap again. We're going to do the other side, same thing. Okay. So we'll inhale, stand tall, and exhale, right leg goes back, warrior one. Feet separated like they're on two skis. Taking your strap behind your back and you're pulling it apart, right? So you can have your hands any width on those straps. Good. I think what creates space across your chest. So where can you hold the strap where you feel like you're opening here rather than getting caught up in your neck or anything like that? Making any adjustments and feeling your feet solid as you breathe into your chest. Good. And now on our next exhale, let's let the strap go and set it down. And take your hands behind your head, thumbs running down your neck. Just let your skull and neck be supported. And create any amount of lift through the chest. So if it feels good to kind of open up the ribs and lift the ribs away from your hips, you could try that. But it might be enough just to open the shoulders like this. Okay, soften the jaw, soften the neck. Good. One more breath here. And then slowly opening up to warrior two. So you can let go with the arms and adjust your feet how they work best for you. Turning to the right, arms can open up wide. Just checking in with your feet, your hips. That's it. Yeah, if you kick that right heel back, Lisa and Diane, like this way, boom. That's it. It's a little, yeah, a little nicer on your sacrum, right? Because you're not trying to open both hips, right? Yeah, it just gives a little space around the sacrum. Good. Now from here, we're going to do eagle arms again. We have our left leg forward. We're going to put our left arm on top and either do a hug or eagle arms, whichever you prefer. If you're in eagle arms, feel like you're trying to pull the arms apart. So the elbows kind of hook into each other harder, but your main focus is breathing into your upper back, creating that space as though you're creating space behind where your heart is, relaxing around your jaw and your neck, softening your jaw. Another breath here, feeling really solid through your feet. And then let's inhale, open up the arms. This time, instead of stepping forward, we're going to turn so both feet are parallel facing the side edges of your mat. Good. Exhale, let's fold forward. So you can put your blocks down on the floor or your hands might reach the floor. You could also use a chair. Right? In fact, you might want at least one block for this next little movement. Prasarita Padmottanasana is this pose. We're going to create a variation on it. So your left hand is going to go on the block, and let's inhale and open up the right arm and chest to the side. It's fine to bend both or either leg. And then let's exhale, bring the arm back down. Right hand goes to your block, and inhale, open up to the other side. We're just going to go back and forth, okay? Just going to go side to side. You can play around with knees bent or straight or different heights of the block. You don't have to look with your head. You can do what feels best on your neck. Good. Now, the next time you come down toward the floor, just let yourself fold. Let your neck relax. If you wanted to, you could always take your hands behind your back and clasp them, or you could grab a strap and shoulder stretch with arms going up toward the ceiling, right? So you can decide if that feels good to you or if you'd rather just have arms down. Good. Any amount of bend in the knees is fine. And just let your neck and jaw relax. Feel your feet grounded. Sometimes it's even nice to get the head grounded. You turn your blocks or stack them at the very top of your head. And now, if you've got the hands clasped, let's let them go and bring them down, bending the knees to place your hands above your knees. Inhale, reaching your chest forward. Exhale, standing up. We're going to open up the left foot into warrior two legs. So kick the right heel back again. That's it. But this time we're going to put the forearm on the left thigh. Good. And try turning your chest to that right side as you draw the thigh bone into the hip socket, and perhaps the knee can be open toward the center of the foot. And now with the right arm, you can take it to turn the palm up, and it's reaching toward your back foot. So Diane, go the other way. Yeah, that's it. Keep going, keep turning it the other way, Here. Yep, that's it. That's it. So you open the chest. There you go. Okay, keep breathing. Now, some of you, this will be really hard to open up the chest like this if you're tight there. So she had her, I'm just showing the people at home, she had her palm like this, and I just said, roll that upper arm bone back. You could also reach it behind your back, right? And feel that opening and see where it is. Let your neck relax. Now let's exhale and let's roll that upper arm bone forward. So now you're internally rotating it, and just take the back of your hand, put it on your low back somewhere, right? And can you open the chest to the side as you do that? And perhaps roll the shoulder head open a little bit as you do that. Some people will wrap their hand around their back to their thigh, but that's unusual. You might. Okay, inhale here. Good, and as you exhale, let's look down at that left foot. Unwrap the arm. We're gonna push into the left heel to come up, and then just switch the feet. Okay, so now the right foot opens, left heel kicks back, right forearm to thigh, just getting settled at first. Okay, first just checking in with your hip, your knee, turning your chest and belly to the side if it will. And now we'll extend that back arm. Let's do it together so I explain it better. So the palm is down to start, fingertips reaching. And I'm going to roll my upper arm bone back. So now my palm faces the ceiling. Good. And now you could stay right here, just relax your neck, do what you want with your head, or you could reach it back. You can play around with it. What gives you the best expansion in your own body? Keep breathing. Keep lifting out of that right shoulder as well. Lisa, you could also be like this. You might feel better. It looks a little like you're contracting down here. Yeah, exactly. Good. Now you could try internally rotating that upper arm bone, right? And then taking the back of the hand to your back somewhere, if it reaches, or around. And you can try rolling the shoulder head back and turning the chest to the side. You can do what you want with your neck. You might want to stretch it to the side, down toward the bottom shoulder. You might want to look down, keep breathing. As you breathe, we're that same focus. We're inhaling and just trying to feel the rib cage open. Like with each breath, it's like you're stretching the muscles in between your ribs and trying to create more space. Now looking down at that front foot, we'll use an exhale to let go with the wrapped arm, press down through the heel and come up. We're just gonna wiggle the feet a little closer. We're gonna come down through a squat, okay? So you can stack your blocks if you know you need to sit on them, and you can start to lower down like we've been doing these past few weeks, right? You can come down into Malasana or supported Malasana or anything in between. You can use rolled up blankets below heels or behind knees. Yeah, any variation. Good. And then from here, keeping the left elbow inside the knee, you can take your right hand to your right knee and twist open. Now, if you're in a full Malasana without the blocks, it might feel better to reach the right arm up, or for anybody, it might. You can explore it, okay? Take a breath there, and then exhale to switch sides. So now the right elbow comes inside, right knee, and the left arm can either come to the knee to open or it can reach up. Good. Good. And then untwisting yourself, and we'll come down onto the floor or a folded blanket. Let's take the legs wide in a V. So this can be a challenging pose for sure. You can take your blanket below your hips if you'd like, right? Just Good. Let's sit for a moment. Imagine creating space. You know, if you're doing this at home or even in here, you can use the wall. You can always sit with your back against the wall or the couch to help you stay upright. Okay. Now, as you inhale, it's feeling this whole torso area expand. Let's do a long exhale out the mouth. Just and again. Good. And now let's take a different leg position. So it could be Sukhasana, easy seat, or it could be anything else. Okay, so any other leg position, you can use any props you want. We're going to practice a mudra, which is just a hand position that has an intention. And so this one's called Garuda Mudra, the eagle. And the right hand goes onto the chest, almost like the Pledge of Allegiance. The left hand goes on top, the thumb pads touch, and you just relax your shoulders. And you can have your eyes closed or open. And our focus here is first just feeling your breath below your hands. You might even feel your heartbeat there as well. Just kind of depends on what it's like for you. And you'll notice, you know, Garuda, the eagle, your two hands are like the wings. And every time we breathe and the lungs fill with air, inflate, they open up and the heart lifts just a little bit. That's kind of the natural movement of it. And then as you exhale, the lungs kind of wrap inward, almost like that illustration of the Sacred Heart or a heart with wings. Right? So you can even imagine that if you want, the heart there with the wings of the lungs opening up on the inhale. And then as you exhale, it's like they wrap around and protect the heart. Just notice what that image brings for you in any level of your experience. And you can either keep your arms there or you can let them go to any position. We'll stay here for another minute or so you can change your legs any way you want to. And now we'll do a little more of a concentration on your heart. So just relaxed shoulders, eyes open or closed. Just breathing like we've been doing. Just trying to sense the physical heart, you know, where it is in your chest. You can imagine, the layers of your skin and then the bones of your sternum. And then below that, all the connective tissue, and the pericardium, I think it's called, below the sac that holds your lungs and heart. And then your heart beating in there. And the gentle, smooth movement of your breath. And the idea in this Yoga Sutra is that when we start to focus on the heart, we use the concentration, which is one of the 8 limbs of yoga. It then allows you to go into more of a meditative state. Allowing the mind to settle a little bit, perhaps some relief from the activity of your mind. And then let's start to use our breath a little more strongly, just a little more focus on the inhale, expanding in all directions, 3-dimensionally. And the exhale, you could blow it out the mouth or out your nose.